Yes, I've had a fantastic day. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I've had a good day today. Yeah,
Good.
I had a lunch date.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Right.
It was lovely. I got pampered and nurtured by one of my girlfriends.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we've got Susan Lawrence, and she will be talking to us about tapping into our intuition using numbers. Now, when it comes to success, there are different tools that we can use and different avenues that we can take. And I've invited Susan to speak to us today about how the significance of numbers can help us in terms of our success. So I'd just like to welcome you all on. Hi, everybody. You you can send in messages if you would like to ask questions or like us to elaborate on various aspects of the topic. And if you want to call in, you can call in and speak and everybody can hear you. You can also be seen. If you don't want to be seen, but you just want to ask a question verbally, then I'm not sure if everybody can see the call in button. Press call in and I'll accept you. Okay, so Susan, myself and Susan speak quite a lot in terms of divinity, using numbers and tapping into our subconscious and things like that to assist us with our everyday life. Well, my everyday life and hers as well. So first of all, Susan, can you tell us about numbers and how they are relevant to our lives?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much, Serena, in the first instance, for actually inviting me and giving me the opportunity, which is really exciting. I would say that it's probably my first official one on my own, basically, because I normally do other blabs as well. Now, I sort of discovered the divination of numerology quite some time ago. In my time of being into sort of spirituality and looking at different aspects of one's life and looking for more about the deeper meaning of life, I discovered lots of things. I've looked at tarot, I've looked at runes, I've looked at numerology, I've looked at all sorts of different things, and it's always been of interest to me. And ironically, I wasn't very good at maths at school, but I actually discovered that the sort of history and information of numerology, so I decided to study it. On top of that, I've also completed my spiritual life coaching qualification. So my journey, basically before I started these two things, was as a former careers advisor. And I started to feel that I wanted to do something completely different, more on a sort of esoteric level, more on a deeper level, more on a spiritual level, to support people to tap into using their intuition, and also about looking at planning, their life a little bit more in a different way. Now, the study of numbers started off with a theorist called Pythagoras, and he looked at the numbers. And you've got the Chaldean system, and you've got the normal system that was discovered by Pythagoras. And basically, for each letter of a person's name, there is a numerical value. And basically, so that's for anybody's name from the time of birth. Even if somebody decides to change their name from the birth name, then it still means that it will hold a numerical value. So for each letter of your name, it holds a value, and then the idea of it is to look at it all together and then add it all up and total it up, and then it gives you some kind of idea into the person's character. It gives you some idea into, what they're like. I also feel that it ties in very much with astrology as well. And I also feel that it also ties in with tarot as well. They are all linked. And then you've got, like the Kabbalah system, which is, the tree of life and things like that. Now, In terms of a person's birth date, each number holds a numerical value. So, for instance, I'll give you my birthday is 23/8/1964.
Okay.
So the total number and value of that in total comes to 33. Now, my vibration is a master teacher. That doesn't mean in any shape or any form that I feel that I'm, higher or better than anybody else. It's just what I am. And I've always felt that there is something much more to me in terms of, my life journey and how it's been. It's always been quite different. I've always felt different. And, as I've grown and matured and gone on my own journey, discovered that I am different. And I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. So my total number of my birthday is 33. So if you add 3 and 3 together, that means I'm life path number 6. So it's a life path number, career number. Now the number 6 relates to being like a natural healer, a counsellor, supporting people, very nurturing, very supportive of family. Family is the hub of their home, and basically they're very, very strongly entrenched with their family. And also they're very much about nurturing other people. Now that is very true of me, because it's something that I feel very strongly about. I like to help people. I like to be of service, and it's what I have a passion for. And so that's what I'm doing. So when I was informed at a previous job that I was going to be made redundant, I then went on my way to actually set up my own business website on the 7th of July 2014. I will also say to you that in relation to a year or a door number or basically a business number, numbers also play a part in every aspect, not only in your personal life, in terms of you personally, but if you were to set up a business and you were going to give it a particular name, then that would hold a numerical value as well. And I did that when I actually set up my business called Seeds of Spirit. And one of the things that I wanted to do when I called my business Seeds of Spirit was to actually give it an organic name, because I wanted it to grow naturally. I wanted Spirit to guide it very gradually, and I wanted it to grow in its own time. Now, for those individuals that are spiritual, you will know very much the importance of timing and synchronicity. And I'm a great believer that things happen in their rightful time and when it's right for it, to happen. So I set up a group, and I've started off with about sort of 50 members. I've now got 238. And the page has now gone to 231. Now, that's since 2014. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter how long it's taken. It's that the change has happened in its rightful time. So, for instance, the significance of numbers in relation to your birthday is very, very important. You have your life path number, you have your soul urge number, you have your destiny number, you have your pinnacle numbers, and you have your year number, your month number. So basically, it's very much about looking at where you are and planning, where you're going next. And for each of us, at every birthday, we are at a particular spiritual stage in our journey, in accordance to what our life partner, our year number is, basically. Now, take, for instance, 2016. 2016 is a year number 9, just with the number 2016, not in relation to any of the months, but just 2016. 2016 is very, very much about shedding and releasing and letting go. Is it possible you could turn your music down, please?
I think I've just muted. Can you still hear? Do you still hear it?
I'm not
It's
sure.
my music. Can you still...
It's right. Okay, I'm not sure. Can you hear me? Serena, can you hear me?
Yes.
It went a bit funny just then. So for
Yes.
2016, for everybody, literally everybody, there is going to be some aspect of releasing, shedding and letting go things that are no longer good for the current, your highest vibration. So if you've been in a particular job that you're not happy with, you may start to think about, actually, it's time for change. If you've been in a stagnant relationship that you're not happy with, you may feel it's actually time for change. The thought processes will start coming up and the seeds will start, thinking about it. But not only on top of 2016 being a year number 9, you've also got your own personal numbers on top of that. So to some degree, if somebody is also in a personal year number 9, on top of 2016 year number 9, then it's going to be potent. It's going to be potent. It's going to mean that there is going to be a lot of letting go. There's going to be a lot of releasing, a lot of shedding. And sometimes it can also be about an attitude as well. Sometimes it can also be about letting go of a particular mindset and releasing a particular mindset and also starting to think differently in accordance to how you used to. So the significance of numbers plays a very big part in terms of mapping out a journey. Yeah. I have even recently bought a book and I'm continuously buying literature to forearm myself with knowledge all the time, because that's what we do. We have to evolve, we have to grow. When you are trying to grow your own business, it's important to constantly make sure that your information is regular, it's up to date. Now, the other interesting thing is, in terms of relationships, sometimes you can even look at your own soul urge number and your potential partner's soul urge number to see if there's a compatibility. So you see, it's a very broad spectrum. It's not just about, I add up the numbers. It's very deep. It takes quite a lot to do a person's numerology profile, because there's a lot of, calculation. There's a lot of looking at the numbers. There's a lot of researching and getting information together. But once you do it, it's actually really, really interesting. Now, this week on Easter Sunday, I decided that in the group that I have, I would just give people a little snippet of what it's about. So I said to people in the group, if you are interested in knowing what your life path number is, please just put your date of birth in the comments box, and then I'll give you a bit of information about that. People were surprised at how such, just that information on one's date of birth alone, how much information one was able to derive from that. And it's fascinating. It's very, very fascinating. Some people think it's a demonic subject. It's not. It's interesting. It's an esoteric subject. It's divination. It's interesting. It's a very, very deep, reflective subject. And it gives people the potential to really tap into not only their intuition, but looking at where they are on their journey, also planning where they would like to go on their journey, and also in relation to the numbers, receiving the guidance on how they can move forward in relation to those numbers in many particular factors, if that makes sense.
Now it makes perfect. Some years ago, I don't know that where I actually live, whether that has any divine synchronicity. And so I was looking at my numbers, and I actually seen that I'm supposed to live in the town and not inside. And I always kind of thought that, I don't know, we all just have this ambition to know, that kind of dream. I want to live in the country and have land and whatever and blah, blah, blah. And that was a very big call for me, because I'm supposed to live in a town.
Serena,
Use my
are you very close? You're
date of
quite
birth
distorted at the moment. The sound is quite distorted.
kind of
okay, so
I don't know what's going on. Can you
Serena,
hear me now?
do you want to give me your date of birth?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Bear with me for a minute. I'm just going to calculate that, okay?
1981.
5th to the 7th, 1981. Right. So I'm using a calculator because I can't add up straight away on my own.
Okay.
And I need to do it quickly.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, look at that luck.
Serena, the total number in relation to the whole of
So
your
if anybody wants to
31. So if I reduce it to a single digit, it becomes a 4. Now this tells me that you're a planner. Don't respond. Let me tell you, and then you can give me some feedback. This tells me that you're a planner. This tells me that you're an organizer. This tells me that you think about a lot of things before you do them, and that you map your journey out first and foremost. Now, I'll give you an example. Imagine that you've got a farmer that knows there is going to be seasons of time to sow the crops. So he will sow the particular crops at a particular time in order for those seeds to become to fruition. You would do that. So you will plan something, you will sow the seeds, and then you will diligently work at it continuously. It also tells me that you're a very grounded individual. The number 4 relates to the element earth, and it means that you're a very grounded, earthy individual, very pragmatic and very practical.
Okay. That would sum me up.
Yeah?
Okay.
Is that right?
That would sum me up.
Is that right?
Yeah. And that's what I do in my work. I actually help people to learn how to plant their seeds in their own season, in terms of their own time, and teach them how to take care of that as a flower, like.
But not only
and watch it blossom and grow,
you also do it for yourself. So you set the example and you do it yourself. Now,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Number 4 is a very, very practical number. It's very solid. Yeah. There is a real solidity about you. You're reliable, you're solid, and that's you're definitely an individual that can be relied upon, most definitely. Now, interestingly, I'm going to tell you something. I have seen 4 times today, prior to this event, the number 11, and as I look on the other side on my Facebook page, it's telling me that I've got 11 notifications. This morning, when I looked on the event, there was 11 people going, and then not long after, I keep seeing 11, but not only just for this event lately. Now, 11 is a master number, and it's also the master teacher, and it's a high vibration. So whenever you see number 11, it means there's an angelic message and there's a spiritual message at hand. And I've been seeing it a great deal lately. Yeah.
Interesting, because the whole thing is divine, and we're using spirit to kind of channel information to share with people. So I can see how that relates to what we're actually doing and talking about today. Here, I've got a date of birth here from Alicia Willings. She's doing the calculation.
Okay,
come on, guys. Alicia. Anybody else want to?
Alicia, your vibration, your number, total number for your birthday, in all of your numbers, the 10th of the 9th, 1982 equates to 30. Now, that tells me that you are a very creative. You're a number 3 life path, career number, right? You're a number 3. And this actually tells me that you are into some kind of entertaining business or media or some kind of singing or dancing or something like that, something where you express yourself. I would say that you're very in tune with music, that you are very good at dancing, you're very, very creative, very communicative, and also you are very sociable.
Leisha, do you want to tell Susan what you do? So type it in what you actually do. Yeah, she's a genius. Yeah. Go on, tell her what you do, Leish, if you can hear me. And anyone else, please join in. This is your chance to, you know, get a bit of insight into where you're at now and what you're doing with your life, so that you can check whether it's in alignment or not. Spirit has given us everything within the universe to assist us and help us. Sometimes we're on the right path, and sometimes we're not on the right path. Sometimes we know that we are on the right path, but sometimes we just need that kind of insight and assistance to just give us that extra motivation. So go ahead, guys, bring your date of birth in, and we can explore this. For me, I feel so good right now and very energized for the fact, look, she's put it now. Can you see what she's written? Leisha has a degree in music technology. She's been singing since she was 6 years old, and she's currently a fashion designer. Now, just from her Leisha's date of birth, Susan has been able to basically sum her up. She used to work in TV. How's about that then? Leisha's typing in the side that she used to work on TV. Marlika has the same date of birth as me, and she is very much grounded, very much a planner, planting seeds and watching them grow. And she's also merging into helping others to learn to do the same thing. So it's so nice to know that we are on the right path in terms of, you know, our numbers. Absolute genius. Yes, great stuff, Susan. So oh, she said thank you so much, Susan. Oh
yeah.
Can you do my son?
Yep.
His is the 9th of the 5th, 2003.
His total birth date number equates to number 19. That means that he is a number 1. Now, the number 1s are very much leadership. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, number 1s are very much leadership, and they basically are very much able to take control. They've got a very forthright personality. They're very assertive and they're very strong. In their highest vibration, they do really, really well at leading people, and they do really, really well at, you know, supporting others to, you know, come along the way. They would make very good supervisors, very good managers, and they would make they would do very well also in their own business as well. Looking at sometimes, and one thing that I will touch base on, sometimes number 1s can actually be quite controlling. There's an element of, they can be a little bit controlling, they can be a little bit forceful. And, you know, sometimes, you know, they have to sort of tame down that authoritative side, their assertive side a little bit. But basically, number 1s are leaders. They're at the forefront. They're able to not only work with other people, but they're also able to work with other people, independently as well. So they're the leaders. And they're sort of very much at the beginning of the, you know, like sort of, you know, new beginnings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Okay. Great stuff. Nika's watching, but she can't type in. Sorry about the distortion. She would like to know if she's got twins.
Okay, right. Hold on. I'll just calculate that.
Is the
not doing anything. If people want to see what I'm doing, I've got my phone, calculator. Yeah, I'm not doing anything. Repeat that again, Serena.
The 31st of the 3rd, 2006.
Okay.
This is so exciting.
Okay, number
I just
6.
feel
That
so
number
good right now
date
that
of
I'm on the right path in terms of my
totally
business.
equates to 50.
So
In which case, they are number 6, which is the same number as me. So they're going to be natural healers. They're going to be counsellors. They are going to be very spiritual. They are going to be very, very nurturing. Family is going to be important to them. It also relates to the planet Venus as well. So there's going to be a very loving vibration about them as well. There's going to be very much a sense of community spirit and love and, you know, sharing with them as well. So in terms of their professions, it could be, you know, counsellor, doctor, you know, administrator, advisor. So it will be along those lines.
wow. Wow. Okay, so we've got Love Your Hijab.
Okay.
Her date of birth
30th
is the
of the
30th
8th,
of the 8th,
1984, yeah?
1984.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love Your Hijab. You are the same as me. You're a number 33. So that means that you're a master teacher. You've got a high spiritual vibration. It means that I would say that there's a possibility that you have lived previous lives as well, and been sort of reincarnated many times. You will have a lot of inner wisdom and a lot of knowledge that sometimes even surprises yourself. Now, in terms of being a master teacher, you also, on top of that, will be a number 6, which is like myself. So it's very much the healing profession. It's very much into sort of counseling. It might be an administrator. It might be sort of, you know, working with people in supporting them in some way, advising them, being of service. And basically, you're going to be very, very loving, very much into community spirit, and also very warm.
Oh, Tony, what is it that you do now? Could you type in and let us know what you do? And it'll be interesting to know if you are actually on that path at the moment, because it's amazing when we're not on the path, but we now realize what our purposes are, and then we want to make that transition, and it's like, kind of, how do we make that transition safely? And these type of things, and these you know, the topics that we're talking about today and divine topics, this is what we've been gifted by spirit to assist us with that transition, because a lot of us are scared to make that transition. Even for me, in terms of when I used to kind of work on my career, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing, finding my purpose, I can see that most of my occupations related to nurturing people and helping people to plan anyway. But I was kind of looking in the boxes that were given to me in terms of the jobs that were out there. Like, I was a beauty therapist, so I was still trying to help people. I was a beauty lecturer. I was still trying to guide people. But now I've tuned into all of the assistance that I can get in terms of divinity, divine work. I've read loads of books and hired coaches and things like that to support me with the transition of making that a business. Are you actually in the trade of healing and that deep inner work? She's not said anything. Okay, so we'll wait for her to respond. Another mum who can't type in has asked, her son is 7 years old.
Okay.
Think, yeah, and his date of birth is the 9th of the 12th,
yeah?
2009. Yeah.
Okay, the total number equates to 23. Now, that number relates to being a number 5. So he is going to be very much a child that is energetic. He's also going to like change. He's also going to like things that relate to sort of international cultures and things like that. He might be very interested in travel. Basically, he is going to be sort of a very busy person. The number 5 relates to the planet of Mercury, which is the planet of communications. He's also going to be a very good communicator and quite clear in his communication style as well. They are restless, so they basically need to channel themselves in a very, very positive way. And basically, he is going to be sort of very busy. He's going to like lots of interesting things. He's going to like change, you know, and I think that's going to be really important to him. Travel, as I said, is going to be really important, and he's going to be interested in different cultures as well.
It's funny because I know that mum and I know that her child, and he is very energetic, comfortable with communicating and things like that. And it's nice to know that me being a part of her life and knowing that I can help them to kind of, you know, guide him in that way, you know, because he's already, that's his substance, that's how he is. That's nice. What did she say?
Sonia. Yeah.
Oh, she's already
yeah, Sonia was in the group. Sonia's in my group, and we had a lovely conversation. She's a beautiful spirit. She's just about to embark on her own journey. And she is one of the young ladies that put her comment in the box in my group. And I was able to tell her that basically the way forward, and it's absolutely spot on, about sort of going forward in owning her own business. And sometimes it's just about giving people some kind of sign or affirmation that, you know, they're on the right track, and that's what it's about. And you know, sometimes if we just had that little bit of guidance, sometimes it can actually make a world of difference. But also, not only in terms of being given the guidance by, you know, spirit, and also spirit sending the right person to guide you, it's very, very important to tap into your intuition as well. For instance, if you've got a particular sign, you know, that something is happening, or that, you know, something's going to take place, or you go somewhere and it doesn't feel right, I think it's really, really important to sort of listen to that intuition. But also, in terms of our intuition, it's very, very important to trust what our body is giving us a sign for. If you get up in the morning and you don't like or feel happy to get up in the morning, and you're not happy doing what you're doing, there's usually a reason for it. If you're in a relationship and it doesn't feel right, there's usually a reason for it. My role is to support people to unpick and unravel the emotions that are associated with the intuition. And then I utilize lots of skills, and that's numerology, astrology, and my intuition. And basically, and I've done this myself, so I don't just say that I know what I'm doing because I haven't walked that journey. I've done it myself. I decided last July to leave my job because I felt it wasn't for me. Now, there was nothing wrong. It just wasn't for me. So it was time for change. And I'd always thought about owning my own business, but I just never felt quite ready. That time came in 2014 when I started on the journey to basically set up my website. But then I actually made the leap in July 2015 to actually really start implementing everything to start on my own. And I listened to my intuition, and I listened to my inner guidance, and I followed it. And I do so now. And, you know, do you know that sometimes we've got a day number that we have? So for each day, now today is a day vibration number 5. So there would have been an element of social activity. There would have been an element of feeling a little bit restless. There would have been an element of maybe quite a lot of changes going on. And, you know, there would have been an element of all of that sort of vibration. So not only do we have our birth date and our, you know, name that we're given at birth, but we've also got the vibration, the day vibration number, which holds a significance. we've also got the month number, which holds a significance. And then we've also got a personal year number, which holds a significance. So it's very much about tapping into all of those and using that information as a stepping stone to be able to guide you forward.
So could you like give us a bit more insight to how we can kind of see numbers in our daily life? And
well, for instance, you know, looking at, as I said, looking at day number 5. Now, you know that there's going to be an element of, you know, change. I mean, look at the weather. It's been really windy today. It's been really cold. There's been a great deal of sort of, you know, elements going on, and that can even be attributable to that as well. Now, say for instance, somebody wants to sign a contract. I know that signing a contract on a day number 8 is beneficial. You know, number 8 is the acquisition of wealth, and basically it is basically where, you know, all of the work goes in and you're able to sort of, you know, acquire wealth and materialism and things like that. So it's beneficial on day number 8 to sign a contract, because it's more likely to be, you know, the right thing to do, and it's the right time.
Okay, Lucia's asked if we could do her cousin Shanice. She's currently caring for her nana, so she can't call in.
Okay, so the date of birth.
Listen to the recording afterwards. She can listen to the answer that week afterwards. The date of birth is the 28th of the 9th, 1994.
It's also a number 6, which is the same as mine, and that is healing. That is being of service to somebody. Now, you've also just said that she's actually taking care of her nan. So that's going to be very much part of what she does. It's going to be very much part of, you can bet your bottom dollar that if somebody needs help, she'll be the first one there.
We've got the 1993. You got a date of birth wrong, Lisa.
It's okay.
It happens. 1994.
It happens. Okay. So 28th of the 9th. Okay, that's changed it. So that's 41 is the total number, and so she's a number 5. Likes travel. Likes culture, likes sort of looking at, you know, being busy, can be restless. Sometimes if things get a little bit too same old, we'll find that a little bit of a struggle, and we'll go about creating change, and we'll actually sort of, you know, shake the foundations up a little bit. So, you know, there's an element of, you know, change and liking things different. Very sociable, very communicative as well. As I said, 5 relates to the planet Mercury, and so there will be an element where, you know, she's very communicative and very, very, you know, good at getting her information across.
Okay. She said yes. Correct.
Yeah.
One thing that I would like to ask Susan is my door number. I have lived in 2 houses. Where I lived previously was number 12, and where I live now is number 12. And for me, I feel like that there might be some kind of synchronicity and significance in that. Would you agree, or is it just
number 12
coincidence, or
equates to a 3?
What would you say to that?
Now, you are creative, you're expressive, and you also are, you know, very much a person who's into music, very much a person, a lot of media stuff goes on with you as well, a lot of television stuff, lots of different things like that. So I would say that in relation to you keep being drawn to a number 3, it's very much a sign in terms of synchronicity that you are on the right path because of all of those things.
Okay. 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 Anyone else want to post their door number?
She's a 5.
And we can have 5. A look at that.
Right, 10. Love your hijab is number 10. So that will be a vibration number 1, which is very strong leadership. Door number 3, which is very much what I've just said about you, Serena. There'll be an element of creativity. There'll be an element of being in the music industry, singing, dancing, cooking, you know, being expressive, being able to write properly, you know, being able to really express themselves through writing. Somebody's got a number, door number 2. Door number 2 is about union and cooperation with other people. It's a very gentle vibration. It relates to the moon, and it's also about, you know, working with others and creating harmony.
Oh, yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
17 is relating to a number 8. So there, I would say that there's a possibility in this household that maybe the latest things will be liked in terms of, you know, nice TVs, you know, nice, you know, things in the house, an element of material wealth and acquisition. But also, number 8s are very, very good at business. So there might be an element of, you know, the person has their own business or in some kind of management, some kind of position of, you know, being in control.
Okay.
That's 3 again. That's creative.
So sweet.
Yeah.
She said 30. That's 3 again. Love your hijabs. It's spot on. There's loads of beautiful things in her house. She's into business and she's very creative. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
I did. I've done 17.
Where was we? 17. No.
23 is 5. It's a 5 vibration.
Yeah. Did we do number 23?
Yes. Yes, it does. It's a 3 because you break it down into a single
vibration.
digit.
What 5 vibration stand for?
You break it down into a single digit, so you don't count the 0. It's a 3.
Okay. Yeah. I get it. Okay. Cool. But 3 standing out a lot for me recently. I just bought a new car and there's a 3 on it, and I was like, oh my god, my driver, the car, the 333, the 20. Wow. So how can we delve deeper into numbers? How can we really concentrate on it and make it really work for ourselves? I know you've talked about the week.
Say for instance,
would we need to add our name?
You were going to get married
and
you were going to move.
Pardon?
You were going to set up your own business. You were going to sign a contract.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to go to a meeting. One could look at all the vibrations, the day numbers in relation to all of that to see where the highest vibration is and whether it's a good one or not. Yeah. So it's about tapping into that. There's an element of planning, which you'll know very much about, Serena. Being sowing the seeds. So it's very much about planning. It's very much about, in some ways, looking at some kind of structure as to mapping out your journey and how you're going to get the best out of yourself in relation to your sort of spiritual vibration in relation to numerology.
Okay. Is it some people, when they delve into these type of things, they can kind of get a bit obsessed with it?
It's like
can
anything,
you get obsessed
Serena.
With
there's
and
balance
kind of
in everything.
Overdo it?
And there is, we could all get a little bit caught up in things. Now, I do my sort of messages on Facebook every day because it's what I have a passion for. Now, it's about balance. Now, I am working very, very hard lately because I tell you why. My vibration this year and next year is a master number 22. So like you're a number 4, it's very, very similar to the number 4 in terms of I am completely sowing on a very high vibration to make sure that when the time is right, everything will come to fruition. So there are times that you may be more into it than other times. But as long as you're aware of what you're doing, and as long as you try to attain a balance by sort of maybe doing different things. I mean, if you're constantly mapping, then that's going to be too much. So it's about a balance. You might want to get some kind of idea about, you know, planning your next move. And in between that, you might want to go and have some fun. You might want to go dancing. So it's about breaking things up a little bit and also giving yourself a balance and giving yourself a little bit of a break sometimes as well. It's the same with anything. You know, everybody does have the capacity to get caught up in things, but once they become aware of that capacity and the propensity for that to happen, then they can make the changes necessary. It's about discipline, self-discipline.
A friend of mine is getting A friend of mine is getting married next year. She's getting married on the 27th of the 9th.
27th of the 9th.
2017.
Okay.
Could you give insight?
So that's the actual day you're talking about. You're looking for the day number, yeah? Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
$27 is the total number. Now, as much as I've said that 9 is about closures, actually, sometimes number 9 can also be about completion. Yeah. Sometimes number 9 can be about
completion,
sort of the end of the journey. So sometimes it can actually mean that it's right. Yeah. Now, for instance, for everybody this year, in terms of 2016, there's going to be a lot of releasing and letting go. There's going to be about closing chapters, releasing things, letting go of things that no longer feel right, no longer make you feel good, or basically no longer feel, you know, it's okay for you. And your vibration, your body will actually tell you because you won't feel right. Now, in terms of our spiritual journey, we come to the end of a 9-year cycle. So this year for everybody, it's going to be the end of a 9-year cycle for everybody, getting ready for new beginnings next year. So there's going to be a lot of new beginnings next year. And sometimes in a year number 1, you can't really expect to gain a great deal of help from other people because it's about working independently, working on your own, finding resources and really sort of tapping in and, you know, working diligently by yourself, because it's almost like sowing the seeds ready for the next 9 years. But as I said, sometimes with a 9, it means that there's completion and that it's right because it's the end of the journey. There's no more looking. There's no more looking for anybody else because number 9 is about completion and, you know, they've found the right partner. Does that make sense? You're welcome.
Yes, that makes total sense. Thank you so much, Susan. Just one more thing. Can you give a bit of insight into
next year
then?
Going to be, as I said, a vibration of number 1. So it's new beginnings for everybody. It is going to be about new things. People will start to think about new jobs, maybe new relationship, maybe about even becoming single because they're fed up with being in a relationship, want to be independent, want to be on their own, want to go and throw their shoes off and go and have a great time. So it's going to be very much about, you know, hold on, let me just have a look. 2 plus 0, 1, 7, okay. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So it's related to 10, which the total figure is 10. So it's going to be new beginnings for everybody next year. If people might even have started to feel that vibration this year, even though they're doing some releasing in terms of what no longer works and what no longer feels okay. They may have started the process already in their psyche and in their intuition about mapping a new journey for next year. So the two will walk hand in hand. It will be about letting go and starting. So it's like death and rebirth.
Okay. So, like Susan said, I'm the person to come to for the seeding and the mapping. I'll be able to give people a deeper insight in terms of what they want and what they desire, so they feel a bit more confident with that. And I can also support people with that as a journey. So we can start seeding from this year. So next year, that can actually grow. So we can get a realistic outlook on what it is we actually desire, what it is we actually want, clean up the subconscious trash that can block that new beginning. And next year you can go away with that as a master plan. Also, Susan, how can listeners get in touch with you to get more insight to their numbers?
I'm going to type up
and more intuitive insight
in relation to my website, but my website is seedsofspirit.co.uk. I've also got a Facebook page and a Facebook group. They walk hand in hand, and as I've said already, ironically, the group has 238 members and the page has now gone up to 231, and they've almost been parallel with each other. Yeah, they've almost been walking side by side with each other. So people can get hold of me on this. Now, I'm just going to type up link. Yeah. Have you? Ah, wonderful.
I've just posted your website.
Now, if anybody wants,
just post it in the group there.
If anybody wants to book a consultation with me, I would ask you to put in, I've got a PayPal account, and put in a £5 deposit, and then I will get in contact with you, and then we'll arrange for a proper consultation. And what that takes, what happens in that process is for me to get an insight into, your name, your date of birth, where you are now, and then I can actually then give you some guidance and some information about you, and also your journey and what would be good for you in relation to your life path number. So this is my PayPal link, and sit there. I would say by.
So if you put it, is there a deadline for this?
I would say probably deposit up until sort of like 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay. So by tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, yeah? Okay, cool. So go ahead, people, book your consultation and get a deeper insight to your numbers and how relevant they are to your life purpose. I think love your hijab. I think, we've got time for one more. Love your hijab is put the 24th
All right, I'll do
December,
that.
so 1980.
Taking a bit longer, this one. Right, so that vibration is, total number is 27. So that tells me that this individual is a life path number 9. A life path number 9 relates to a person who is humanitarian, is very, very much about community on a wider scale. Very much, I would say that they're extremely deep. There's an intensity about them as well. I often relate the number 9 to the astrological sign of Scorpio, and there will be an intensity about them. They'll be very, very deep, and they won't be very, very superficial. So their sort of role in terms of their life path number will be about humanity on a wider scale.
Does that resonate with you, Love Your Hijab? Let us know if that resonates with you. I've got one more, Susan. My daughter. I completely forgot my daughter. Oh, okay. No, we'll let the listeners go ahead. The last one. Okay, could you squeeze in the 14th of the 12th, 1980? Thank you. Yeah. We're not going to take any more after this one, guys. We've got about 3 minutes left, so we'll let Susan do that one. And this is recorded. This show is recorded, so I will post it later. So if you missed anything, you can rewatch it and you can send it to anyone who you feel.
This last one there relates to a number 8.
Understanding how numbers
number is 26
are relevant.
And what it will be is, once again, it's about the acquisition of material wealth. The individual will very much like nice quality things. The home will be beautiful. It will be, you know, really, really, really lovely. There will be an element of business in relation to this individual, perhaps into some kind of administration, management, somebody who is able to acquire wealth in their own way, sometimes using some of their own skills as well.
So if that, as a parent, it's good to get the insight into our children's numbers, because we'll be able to identify the characteristics that they currently hold, nurture them in the right direction.
I've looked at my own children's really astrological makeup and my own children's numerology number, so I've got an insight into, you know, the guidance. But also, not only do I have that insight, I don't take over, because we also have to take into consideration free will. We also have to allow our children to make their own mistakes, and also to be able to walk their journey through making some of those mistakes so that they learn. But once the mistake has been made, there is capacity to then say, you know, without saying too much, have you thought about this, have you thought about that, and sort of steer them in the right way. So yes, very much. And it's a beautiful gift, actually, to give somebody when they've had a baby, a birth of a child, to actually be able to give a numerology profile as a gift when babies are born, because it's a really insightful piece of, you know, information. It's very, very useful, and it's lovely. It's lovely. I think it's a really, really nice gift to give somebody.
Okay, I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. And Susan, thank you so much for your energy. Thank you. And your insight. You're a beautiful, wonderful being. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope everybody got out of the show. Like I said, if you want to watch it later, I will post the link.
Sorry, Serena.
Thank you very much.
Please give feedback if you wish to. Please give feedback into what you particularly enjoyed about it, what you found useful, and, you know, anything else that you would like to maybe see for the future. Also, please do get in contact, and I'm happy to have a discussion with anybody. And I would really like to wish all of you a beautiful rest of the week. And remember to tap into your intuition, because it's telling you something for a reason. And I send you love, and I send you light. Bye.
Yes, love, light, and upliftment to you all. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now. See you next week.